with A+ grade and also by NBA. NCET is running with total 7 UG branches with an intake of 540 students per year, and our college has also established the internal quality assurance cell on past accreditation quality sustenance activity, and also a placement cell with 100% placements. NCET is taking a lead in all aspects under the eminent leadership of our CEO Chaitanya Verma and COO Banu Chaitanya Verma. With this brief introduction, I'd like to hand over the session to the next person. Over to you, ma'am.
Thanks a lot, madam. Now I request Dr. Rupashri, President of Disciples India Learning Forum, to introduce and welcome our guest of the day. Over to you, madam.
Good evening, all. It is my pleasure to introduce the guest speaker of this session, Dr. Fatima Afroz. Dr. Fatima Afroz obtained her MTech degree in Computer Science and Engineering from RV College of Engineering, Bengaluru, and PhD in Speech Processing from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, NITK Surathkal. Her areas of interest include signal processing, speech recognition, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and speech pathology. She has 7 years of industry experience and more than 13 years of academic experience. She is an expert in many programming languages like C++, Java, Python, Lisp, VB.NET, and so on. She has guided many students in interns, projects, technical seminars, and paper presentations. She has many awards and medals to her credit. Some of them are Gold Medal for Merit at district level, Urdu Academy Award, Taj Piran Award for Excellence in Overall Performance, and Suryani Award for Merit. Dr. Fatima has published many research papers in IEEE conferences and also reputed journals. She has also authored 2 textbooks and a lab manual. She is the founder and CEO of IPEX Solutions Private Limited. It is our pleasure to have her as a speaker of this session. On behalf of Disciples India Learning Forum, I extend a hearty welcome to Dr. Fatima. Welcome, ma'am, and I request you to kindly take over the session.
Thank you for the lovely introduction. Am I audible?
Yes, madam.
Yeah, I would like to share this screen.
Yes. I'll be stopping the share screen now. You can continue.
Yeah. Hope the screen is visible. If there is any signal problem, if there is no screen display, just let me know.
Sure, madam. It's visible though.
Yeah. Since everybody now are almost aware of this ChatGPT, whether they are from technical background or non-technical background, it has a numerous benefits for the end user. So we'll see like how exactly we can benefit out of it in the academics as well as in the non-academic scenarios as well. So in this presentation, I'll be covering a little information about the OpenAI, and then we'll directly go to the ChatGPT, a little bit of history and how much data that has been trained on, what are the key statistics, how many users are there at present, and then we'll see how to get this ChatGPT and also various benefits as well as challenges. So we'll stick to the topic, and based on the topic only, we'll be going through the slides. So this OpenAI, it is a platform, it's a research and deployment company. it has started with an aim to make this artificial intelligence available for all the users without any difficulty. Earlier days, having just the concept of artificial intelligence practically, it was very difficult. And in India, obviously, we are learning this AI from long back, but still practical aspects of it were hindrance because of many reasons. Now, recent time, artificial intelligence has become like so popular. We can see that smartness in every device, websites, as well as lot of systems which we are using it. So this OpenAI platform, what they have brought up, has a very particular aim and a goal. So like what exactly they did is this friendly kind of an AI platform, which could be benefited to a number of users. So they came up with a lot of programming and the latest technology adoption from the transfer learning, from the generative chatbot applications, as well as a huge amount of data was trained so that the answers could be given according to the required question. And Mr. Sam Altman is a CEO of the OpenAI. Though we handle a lot of text, this text handling also has a n number of benefits. This OpenAI Foundation was done by like many great people. Elon Musk, Sam Altman, who is the CEO, is also one of the contributors for this, Greg Brockman, and 3 more. So the like aim was to bring up something friendly to everybody with less of cost or with no cost, and everybody should get benefit out of this artificial intelligence. They had a vision to develop prompt friendly AI and the way that benefits all the humanity. So here, if we think of, or if we classify the audiences, there are more number of people every day, every a second, the number of users are getting added. If we divide that into the ratio, according to one of the very popular website, it says that 65% are the male users and 34.32% are female users. And most of the AI, the ChatGPT, it is being used by the age group 18 to 34. Is still those who are above that age group and also the lower to that age group are very less users, are almost nil users. So the GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. It's a kind of an algorithm which is meant to train on a huge amount of data. That data is gathered from various online databases, like maybe books, websites, web text, Wikipedia, article, and online literature. There are a lot of synthetic data was also generated through the machine learning and artificial intelligence related algorithms, and created a large language model. Using this large language model, any question, if you are going to frame it, it's going to find out a very similar or very much closer answer. So ChatGPT is not, chatbots are not new. It is started with a rule-based, then slowly it went to the summarization kind of a thing. Then it went on to the generative kind of a chatbots, which could answer any question by making use of the, either through the web scraping or maybe question and answers, which has been built, or using of the Neo4j, like graphical representation of the data. N number of divisions are there under the ChatGPT, and this is of a category called generative chatbots, and it has launched in 2018. That was the first ChatGPT, which was called, a version was ChatGPT 1, and then in the next year it was the second version which was released with much more trained data. Then it went on like upgradation from beta version to alpha, then to 3.5, and now we have a ChatGPT Plus or ChatGPT 4, which has been launched recently into 2023. And there were a lot of issues which were there earlier versions that has also been taken care. Just like, for example, the previous chatbot 3 never used to collect the information from the online sources, like through some websites, because that was trained in 21 and you used to give some information that it cannot fetch the data after that. But in recently, from yesterday's news article I read about this enhancement, it can now easily web scrape also, and that feature has been added in the ChatGPT 4+. So this is all about the versions. So how exactly we can understand like what is earlier and now how it is in terms of number of words, in terms of number of pages which could be handled by this GPT. If we compare that, we have ChatGPT 3.5 with a maximum context length for request is 4,000 words. Similarly, for 4, it went to 8,000 words. Then for the ChatGPT 4 version, 32,768 number of requests or length of request. The number of words will also be approximately equal to 24,000 words. So from 3,000 to 24,000, there is a drastic change. That's how we can give more, prompts at the query so that the understanding of the text will be done. And based on that understanding, it's going to give the answers, which is much more accurate and much more precise. So number of single space pages of English text was earlier in 3.5 was limited to just 6, and in 4 it is 50. Input type also earlier it was restricted only to the text. Then in the 4 they had added even the images as well. Obviously in the last version, the one which is present available right now, ChatGPT 4, it can also handle the input data from the text and images. In order to avail these kind of services that you wanted to make use of the images as well, then you have to subscribe for that. In India also it has given like per month $20 has to be paid as a subscription fee, and all the benefits of the services from the ChatGPT can be utilized. So when we think about the training data and its output, according to again Wired report, the AI trained model uses the latest technique in machine learning, which is called reinforcement learning. We knew that this is much more precise compared to the other language or processing or other learning algorithms. So it uses the RL human feedback, and the size of the training data was 100 trillion parameters. So even if you wanted to create your own generative chatbot, there are available 300 to 600 billions of words from Google as well as from Glow. So they also have trained more than 300 billion words and more than 100 trillion parameters, which is very huge in terms of the level or maybe the total number of words, and 570 gigabytes of text data. That is almost 129 times 164 and 129 times the number of words in the entire Lord of Rings series. So how many number of words if you gather? So it is almost coming to, not even equivalent to that. It is much more than that. So 570 gigabytes of text data has been used in order to train the model to give the precise answers. So let us have a look on some of the key statistics. When it was started, hardly there were very few users. So immediately in a month, it has reached many million users. It gained 1 million users in its first week of launch itself. And at that time, we will not even know how exactly we can give those prompts. Most of the users used to. Hello. The ChatGPT website currently receives an estimated 1 billion monthly website visitors, which is estimated to 100 million active users right away. The tool set a record for having the fastest growing user base in history for a consumer application, gaining 1 million users in just 5 days. So OpenAI revenue predictions for ChatGPT itself is $200 million by the end of 23 and $1 billion by end of 2024. Since the number of users are more, the subscription model has been launched and anybody can avail all the facilities provided, and with the prompts like earlier, it never used to give us a continuous service saying that it is shut down or maybe it is out of the memory, you can connect it later. Like there are so many messages used to appear, but after the subscription, all those things will be again taken out. So since it has a large amount of trained models, and day by day the algorithms are also getting very much precise, and also having a capability to handle such a large amount of data, we are getting almost precise answers from the ChatGPT. So according to the statistic, this is one of the website which will collect the data from all over the online websites or whatever online sources are there, and it authenticate, and also it shows that what is a trend from the present till now, how many number of companies are using all these things. So this also indicates that in just 5 days there were number of users which were very less, and it started growing in a few span of time. When we talk about the number of visitors to the website, since its launch, it is drastically or exponentially it is getting increased from very few lakhs of users to 1 billion visitors from the November 22 to February 23. This graph represents that there is a huge demand and there are n number of people who are utilizing this ChatGPT program. So when come to the traffic sources, how this ChatGPT will get the traffic, it may get from the direct. So the direct who are aware of this ChatGPT, they will be typing the ChatGPT, and such a kind of a percentage of traffic is 69.43, through the referrals 19.97, searching 4.3, social media 3, mail 2.33, and display 0.03. That means there are various ways where the traffic is getting generated for the ChatGPT. And it's very difficult for a person also to identify whether it has been written by the AI or by a human being. So the content written by artificial intelligence chatbot, that is, this is ChatGPT, which like most of the people will get confused thinking that it has been written by an expert as a human. So here maybe like the graphical representation in a study conducted, and they asked the readers to identify content written by ChatGPT. So most of the people, they identified that it is 36.3% is like written by human. Many people identified it as human. Then 46.9% of the people, they identified that it has been written by artificial intelligence. And few people, they identified that it has been written and edited by the human. So it's very difficult for a normal person who don't know about this kind of a technology to identify and differentiate between the content written by the artificial intelligence or generative chatbots or by a human being. So how exactly we can get this ChatGPT? The very much easy one is just you have to create your login through the OpenAI website, and you can make use of the freely available subscription in order to make use to a certain level. In case if you are a developer, you can go to the site and you can create an OpenAI this application programming interface key, and you can use this in order to create your own application. There are multiple applications written using this OpenAI API key. Even I have also developed some 2 to 3 applications using this OpenAI in order to summarize the text. So using the Python library. So suppose if there are users who wanted to create their own application, just like DALL-E or there are many more applications, you can also make use of this model application interface and create your own generative text related applications. So what it can does, it can create a content, that is language generation itself, question and answer. You can make it use for creating chatbot for your website applications, or it could be for answering certain questions. Text completion, you can write few content and you can add more content to that using this ChatGPT. Language translation as well as summarization. These are some of the usages. So whenever we are going to make use of this, prompt will be appeared like this: examples, capabilities, and limitations. And there will be a text box in which we will be writing a request. So here, writing a right prompt is also very important. The same question, if you write it in one manner, it may not answer. It may give you some like options like it can't find that answer, it is not available, I'm sorry, or something like that. The same question, if you reframe it and give it, it can understand that and it will retrieve the answer. So here, the mechanism is like how you are going to provide the question is very important. So here, as I told you, like text completion, image generations, embedding, code completion, and fine tuning. All this can be done through this OpenAI APIs. And some of the applications like which is like worldwide famous, DALL-E creating images from the text, Clip connecting text and images, Whisper multilingual voice to text, as well as ChatGPT. For the speech annotation and all, it was earlier very difficult task to do that. But now using this Whisper, it can be done very easily. And also creation of images. You have to just give a text and based on the text, the image will be created. These are some of the applications which you can build using the OpenAI API. What are the advantages of using such a large language model like ChatGPT? It is like high quality of generated text, cost effective, large vocabulary, and it is very fast, easy to use, and flexible. So because of these reasons, billions of users are mad about this ChatGPT. And it's not that just you create the some applications and leave it. There are other options from where you can get benefit, either by making money or even to complete the degrees as well. Either it is a research activity or maybe any level of study. Users can, like a student, if the group of students are students who are using this ChatGPT, they can utilize it for summarizing and paraphrasing of the text, generating the unique ideas for essays, or also you may get some suggestions for the creating something new, running a spell check or a grammar. You can make it better quality content, writing an academic mails, generate practice questions for tests. So like this, n number of applications are available for a user who belongs to the student category. For example, here, if a question is given, act as a professional coder and teach me how to code in Java. So the question itself says that like the person wanted to learn about the Java language. So here, it may not give you the correct, maybe exactly which program you wanted to know, but yes, it can begin right from the scratch. As you can see over here, the first one is like variable related information, how to declare the variable or store, then data types, then conditional statement. So like each step, whatever it is giving, it is like somebody who is training you at your doorstep or maybe sitting right in front of you. Like with the correct information, it is going to generate few codes, not a complete code for running an application. But yes, your intelligence as well as your experience also has to be added to that to modify whatever it is giving. For example, if you wanted to conduct any simulation, or if you wanted to conduct or know certain, ethical hacking kind of this one code part, or maybe generation of the passwords, it may give almost around 80% to 90% of accurate answers, but fine tuning has to be done by a user. But yes, it can be used for learning any programming language, right from C, C++, Java, Python, Lisp, React. There are a number of languages which can be which can be learned through this. And in case if you wanted to prepare yourself for some quiz or maybe for the interview, again, that can also be practiced. You can give a question in an understanding manner. Like say, for example, I have a 9th grade biology quiz coming up that I need to practice for. Could you please send me 5 multiple questions and 5 long form questions to practice with? So whenever you are going to give these questions, suppose if you want exactly to match with this, you can also add a double quotation mark as well, and you can provide this question. So both the criteria or whatever the conditions, multiple conditions are there, it is going to take care and it will give you the answers. So you can see here in a fraction of a second, multiple choice questions were generated. And also you can add here, write the correct answer as well. So it will display the same thing. So it will be easy for a person to prepare either for interview or for a quiz. And it's also going to benefit for the health and fitness purposes. For example, you wanted to make a plan or you wanted to, get a schedule, all such things can be done easily through the ChatGPT because it works like an expert. So for example, making a meal plan. Example, create a 7-day meal plan for an adult who needs to consume this many number of queries per day, but make it vegetarian friendly. So it will suggest a number of options for the end user, and it's up to the end user to take that whichever combinations he wanted to. Similarly, discovering new meals. So for a particular disease or a particular problem, or maybe you wanted to make a diet or something like that. So very common kind of a thing you can ask and you can get answers, like exercise recommendations, or making a fitness plan, or calorie tracking, nutrition information, sleep improvement, mental health. It can help you in almost all the possible ways, except how you meet an human expert and they will suggest, or they will give their own experience. So leaving that, it can help you as though you have somebody along with you who is going to give you a guidance every step. So you can ask for a question and take up all the answers. Out of that, you can select which one you wanted to apply. Since the intention of ChatGPT is very clear, it wanted to help the humanity, it wanted to give more kind of a power to the end user so that they can do their task very fast. But it was like not meant to do, a kind of what we can say negative things. Say, for example, if you wanted to ask the ChatGPT to provide a code for, maybe launching a DDoS attack. So because of this ethical problem that has also been trained, it will give you clear information that it cannot provide such a kind of information. It's not that like simply it will take the question, it is trying to understand that, get the meaning out of the text, which is very much difficult. But through the natural language processing, we have a huge amount of libraries, like it could be NLTK, Genesim, Ismasi. And again, we have n number of language models like Ngram, Bigram, Unigram. Such kind of, pre-processing steps will be incorporated, like it will clean the text, whatever the question you are going to give. Then it will identify the root words, which is called lemmatization or stemming. Then it is going to reduce all the stop words. It is trying to remove that. Then it will remove the punctuation marks for the questions. And then it will try to get the features out of the text, which is usually a TF-IDF, or it could be bag of words, or it could be word to vector or skipgram. And all these features are based on neural network technologies, except TF-IDF, which has a mathematical formula from the higher statistics and all. So by making use of these mathematical, background or mathematical models, it try to bring out the closeness, or maybe, the meaning out of the text. So from that meaning, it try to match with the pre-trained words. So huge amount of training has been done, and it also has a capability to learn and try to give the answer based on the question. The same question, if you ask it in a different way, it will generate the multiple answers or the solutions. So the generative chatbot, what has been built by the OpenAI, is not a simple one. It is making use of the highest level of artificial intelligence mechanism through the different algorithms, right from the feature extraction till the processing, so that we can get even a very accurate answers. So the difference between the search and this, chat applications are, if you search anything in the Google or any kind of a search engine, many links will appear. So how it exactly works, whenever a sentence is given, the sentence will be broken and each word will be searched independently or together. And then whichever it is similar, all those links will creep in. And through the page ranking mechanism, whichever it is like most nearest one, that will be on the top. But chat bots are totally different. It's going to give you only one answer. That answer will be much more accurate or much more closer to the actual answer. In order to get such a kind of a powerful, kind of a response from a machine learning algorithm, or maybe from a program, lot of mechanism will go behind, right? From the pre-processing to the training to the, collecting of all the answers and generating the multiple solutions for the end user. Out of that, it will select the better one, best one, with more closest one. So all is about mathematics behind that. So here also, like not only one particular subject or a programming, even a person can learn about mathematics, physics, and it's going to help many applications. For example, for entrepreneurs, there will be a lot of work which will be available, and most of the entrepreneurs or the startups will have multiple tasks to do. Maybe creating a letter, or maybe framing certain policies, or maybe writing some content, or getting certain ideas, and they wanted to create a flow for that, or schedule, or maybe multiple tasks will be there. So this ChatGPT again helps the entrepreneurs with multiple processes, and it can do a lot of things instead of struggling and keeping many people at work. Like one single chatbot can be like very powerful in getting a lot of answers with it less amount of time. For example, digital marketing related aspect, like if you wanted to know the comparisons, yes, it is possible. Market research questions you can ask, social media posts you can create, and a number of things can be done as an entrepreneur or a startup company person. Similarly, for marketing, you can generate, first you can get the ideas. Once you get the ideas, you can ask for a plan, and the prompt will be providing you many things which could be related to the idea, like how to create the videos, or what kind of a text to be posted, what could be the keywords, how you can attract the audience. Such kind of questions you have to frame, and you can refine the content for the marketing. So generating the ideas, copywriting, improving existing content, social media marketing, advertising, for all such kind of activities, ChatGPT will be the most suitable and very much cheap and easy to afford by anyone. Similarly, if you wanted to have your presence in the social media, which is the toughest job, because most of the time will be engaged with other activities, and being active in the social media is a lot of problems will be there because of the time. So now again you can create or automate a process which will send the messages, which could answer, which could reply automatically. Either it could be a Facebook, it could be any kind of a social handle. There you can have a presence. And there are certain passive ways in which a person can make money using ChatGPT. So for example, like cryptocurrency. We knew, like apart from this digital currency, cryptocurrencies has become very much popular in the few years. Ethereum and a number of platforms are there. So if you wanted to mine and get benefit out of that, there are certain companies which will allow you to do the cloud mining. For example, one of the websites which I have mentioned over here is Fancy Crypto. So using this, they will give you some initial money through which you can start with. As you are going to mine that, you're going to be get benefited in terms of this currency. So like for example, free cloud mining contract stays valid for 1 day and cost $10. It has a fixed return of $10.15. So for one such contract, if it is 0.15, then if you can mine more, then definitely the money can be made very easily with not too much of difficulty or a struggle. Only thing is you need to know how you can access that and what are the steps you need to follow over there. Similarly, Experience project cloud mining is there, Ethereum project cloud mining is there. For every such kind of a mining, the amount is different. Similarly, Litecoin cloud mining is there, Dogecoin is there, Ethereum is there, Bitcoin. For each of this, there is a different returns, there is a different validity at the period of time will be different. So even students or anyone who is sitting at home also can make money using such a kind of programs. Apart from that, there are some affiliate programs, and again, big MNCs will offer affiliate programs where user can make money every time the link is used. ChatGPT can make it a lot more efficient to get those links. first you should know from which affiliate programs you can get the money, and then you can get benefit out of that. Similarly, email affiliate marketing, writing a content and then sending it to the n number of users, what kind of a messages to be sent, how it could be framed with a better English, all such kind of ideas as well as content could be written through the ChatGPT. Then building a Chrome extension also. So here also you can get money if you are able to build one simple extension for the Chrome, which could benefit or which could be utilized by a number of users. So it should have a mass appeal. If you are trying to have certain ideas in order to get such kind of an extension, definitely you can also get money from Google. Then building an applications as well. If your idea is far too grand to be a simple low-cost Chrome extensions, so you can make use of this as a application in the Google Play or a Apple Store, or even other such kind of websites where they will allow your apps to be loaded and also make money. Then building the chatbots. This is also one of the area. With the help of a ChatGPT, you can build your own chatbot based on the data what you have, what exactly you want your audience to give, or what kind of a questions you wanted to answer. Such kind of things can be created. So instead of a simple rule-based chatbot, you can think of a very high-end chatbot which could benefit the business. So coming to the competition, like many companies are coming forward. I've already started their own ChatGPT kind of an application, just like Google Bard AI, that also answers the queries. And this is also having a regular Google search results. It is based on an artificial intelligence program called Lambda. And there is no plagiarism detector. Right away, it is free for the end user to utilize. Same thing is there in ChatGPT, but here the text responses was there up to ChatGPT 3.5. And now 4 has added even in order to check whether the content is written through the AI or not. So it has a plagiarism detector as well. And if you wanted to get benefit and make money, then you have to make a subscription. In India, they have launched, it is like $20 per month. So you can get subscribed to that and get more benefit out of this ChatGPT. As every technology will have its challenges, no doubt here also we have a number of challenges. Challenges to input phrasing or using same prompt multiple times can impact the tool. So as an end user, if you are trying to use the same thing without refreshing, without new chat, multiple questions, it may give, sometimes a user could phrase a question in a certain way and the model could claim it doesn't know the answer. But with the question phrased differently, it can answer correctly. So this is obvious, like when you are using the same prompt for multiple times, this kind of a problem is there. Next, second challenge is, instead of asking question to clarify what the user means when provided with an ambiguous query, the current version, that means the latest ChatGPT 4, will usually guess what the user is asking. So instead of giving multiple answers, it tries to focus on what was asked in the question. Based on that, it will refine and eradicate the other solutions and give the correct one. The model often overuses certain phrases due to bias in the training data. For example, it repeatedly states that it is a language model developed by OpenAI. So, so much of success has been achieved in training the model, but yes, it has certain limitations as well. So it can't be equivalent to human being, but yes, it is going to help a lot for the humans in order to get more benefit. So as every technology have the pros and cons, we should see the positive part towards positiveness, and also we have to use it in an optimistic way so that whoever it is using and for whom it is built, that those people will also be get benefited. ChatGPT can sometimes exhibit biased behavior or respond to harmful input. OpenAI is currently using the moderation API to provide warnings or blocks some types of content which may be unsafe. Just like I gave you one example, if you wanted to create certain code in Python program or maybe in Java program to launch an attack. And if you are asking such a kind of a questions, definitely it is going to give you some answer. That answers is done through the warning mechanism of this OpenAI. Then one of the biggest challenges is its computational requirement. The model requires significant computational resources to run, making it challenging to deploy in real-world applications. So if you wanted to say, for example, predict some answers and get the right answer for the running applications, it's a little bit tough at this point of time, because NLP itself is like, it's going to convert not one-to-one encoding mechanism for the text. Rather, it is going to generate a huge amount of multi-dimensional vector for a text. So that will be like millions of rows and thousands of or hundreds of columns will be there. In order to process such a kind of a high computational this one, it's very difficult to directly plug into the real world applications. Despite its large size and high accuracy, ChatGPT still makes a mistake and generate a biased or inaccurate response sometimes, particularly when the model has not been fine-tuned on a specific domain or task. So since we are trying to get an answer with one single ChatGPT from biological perspective, maybe from physics, from chemistry, from speech, from n number of applications, it is trying its level best to give the correct answer. But yes, not all the domains has been trained. So for untrained kind of a data or questions, you are going to get some answers which is not very much convincing. Then in the 3.5, ChatGPT cannot access the internet or external link. That was a challenge that they have overcome recently. From coming days, like from tomorrow or from day after tomorrow, even this facility is available. It can web scrape the data and also get a latest information from the internet resources or from URLs. ChatGPT knowledge is limited to its training data, which has the cutoff year of 2021. Since it is getting enhanced, it has already got enhanced and the new version is already been rolled out. So most of the things has been, like from these 2 points, has been taken care, and it is available to the end user to make use of latest things as well. So since the topic was given as its benefits and challenges, I have not covered much, or I have not created any generative chatbot. But yes, if you have any queries, you can feel free to ask me any question related to the topic.
Thanks a lot, madam.
Hello, madam.
Any questions from the participant side?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Dr. Sanjeev Kumar, please.
Yes, madam. Hello, madam. You mentioned about you developed 2 to 3 applications by using ChatGPT.
Yes.
Can you mention what are those 3?
That was summarization of the data from the PDF files. Created own summarizer using the API of released by OpenAI.
Okay. One application.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it possible to develop a system by, like, say, behavior can be detected, madam, by using just checking the questions? What is the behavior of the user based on the questions what he put for the chatting?
Behavior of the user.
Yes, madam.
Through like sentiment kind of a thing.
Yes, madam.
Sentiment is already done without even using the ChatGPT. You can write your own code, which could identify what is the intention, which is called semantics from the text.
Yes, madam. Because here, okay, what kind of questions are repeatedly asked by that user?
Yeah.
Based on that, is it possible to detect that behavior of that user at that particular point?
How much maximum we can get benefit out of this kind of a generative, pre-trained models, we can take it, and we have to modify that code according to our needs. As you said, like a number of questions by an end user. So you need to have such a kind of a data where a lot of responses are requests are recorded, and for every time you have to find out certain values, probable values. Based on that, definitely it can be done. Because with the existing algorithms, it's hard to do. Even if you are making a clubbing together, both the say for example NMF model, topic modeling kind of mechanisms, or some other algorithms from NLP, only that it not be possible. You have to accommodate few latest algorithms from the deep learning also, so that you can train all such kind of responses and you can get the behavior of that person.
Okay.
This transfer learning has come like recently, so you can utilize transfer learning along with the NLP.
Yes, madam. Thank you, madam.
Welcome.
There's a question in the chat box, madam. Is ChatGPT a boon or a curse for the future generation?
That's what, like, repeatedly I told, if you take it in a positive way, definitely it is a boon. So when we think about in terms of jobs, like for the end users, like the new, students who are preparing for various jobs, right? So since such kind of an automation has come, and number of jobs is definitely going to reduce. So a person has to think one step ahead. He has to be, well versed with this kind of a technology and create something which could be helpful for the companies. Then definitely it is going to be a, at least if it is not a bane, at least it is going to be get benefited through whatever the technology has come. This is altogether, it's a different debate. Like, yes, it has a lot of, disadvantages too, because we will not be, an end user will not be reading a lot of text, because they are already aware that such a kind of, tool is available, where you can write your question and get the answer immediately instead of, learning, understanding, searching. So how mobile phone has taken over, right? Even for a simple calculation, we make use of the calculator, which is available in the mobile phone. And we don't even remember the numbers. Most of the phone numbers we try to avoid because it is already there in the mobile phones. We will try to, get it from there itself. So same way, any technology will have adverse effect as well. And since artificial intelligence is one such thing which is going to, reduce the number of human workers. So it's a very high demand or a high need, or it's a high time for every learner to equip with such kind of technologies. Hope I answered your question.
Yes. And there's one more question. Can ChatGPT have multilingual support? Hello?
If we talk about the Indian languages,
Yes,
like,
there's a question, I think.
Multilingual in the sense Indian or any other foreign language as well.
Yes.
Right? Right away, I think in the ChatGPT 4 and plus, they are trying to get that multilingual mechanism as well. Because once you have that language related aspect, grammar, everything will differ. Translating or converting into the equivalent messages, it's very hard at present. Maybe in future, definitely it could be. Just like in a Google translation, we have multiple languages, you can translate the text. Same way, the same mechanism has to be done when we are going to chat.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Could you please elaborate on the applicability of ChatGPT in processing very relatively low resource languages, specifically low resourced Indian languages?
So for that,
including the code mixed data. So suppose we have a code mixed data. May I know how we can use ChatGPT for processing for various NLP tasks?
See, what it can suggest is the general steps, what you can apply on that kind of a language models. So if you wanted to get more information on the Indian languages, IIT Bombay and IIT Guwahati is the most best places to collect the information. they have a very huge language models created and also has an enormous amount of resources to, apply all these NLP things for the Indian languages. I remembered one person also, like from IIT Guwahati. I think you can contact that person and you can get to know more information related to the Indian languages. Apart from these two, in Mysore you have Language Center, CIDL, Center of Indian Languages. It is near CFTRI. There also they have all the repositories, complete information related to the Indian languages. That is the only institute in India which focuses on all such kind of an activity.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
There's one more question, madam. Before that, can you access for me to take up the PPT? I mean, the presentation. You can stop sharing.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. And next question is by Dr. Rashmi P. Whether the ChatGPT will alert the system for asking negative type of questions?
Yes, it is doing.
So, madam, exactly what I want to ask is, whenever the question has been attempted by a user, the email has to alert the main people so that it has to be stopped over there. Admin.
Like a spam kind of a thing you are talking about?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So that is like another application.
Okay, ma'am.
NLP. But if you wanted to integrate to send immediate message to your mobile application,
ma'am.
you can integrate these two things.
Okay.
Because as for now, these two are totally different. There is no such communication between these two. And it may work only for your email. Like if you are going to build such a system, you are going to identify which are such kind of messages through some mechanism. And then such kind of a prompting message could be sent to your mobile phone. That can be done.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
One more question.
Yeah.
What are the limitations of ChatGPT by Mr. Rajesh?
See, for example, if you wanted, like ChatGPT has a very good support as a programmer, if you wanted to do something, like if you wanted to have complete code be written by ChatGPT or ChatGPT related sites like Copilot or GitHub Copilot and all. So there what will happen? You will get some limited, kind of accuracy. I mean, like it will not be a complete model. It may not be a complete solutions. Yes, in between there will be a lag, there will be a difference that has to be taken care if you know such programming.
Okay, hope it is answered. Any more questions? You can unmute and ask, otherwise you can put up in the chat box also. Okay, there's one interesting question which has come. What are the possible psychological effects for the human being because of this AI?
Yeah, it's a good question. The psychology of a human, how it works is like if you are too much pampered, if you are too much addicted, then such a kind of addiction is very difficult to take away. For example, if you are too much using ChatGPT, for every kind of a question, you have like, oh, yes, we can search this in the ChatGPT. So this will definitely trains human mind to be like dependent on this technology. If you really wanted to get rid of that, then you have to use it to a limited, work itself. And that should not be like for everything you have to access only that so that you can get a good answer. So you have to divert your, maybe asking or learning or applying. So you also should have different approaches to do the things.
Okay. Thank you, madam.
Welcome.
And there's one more question from Mr. Yogesh M. Does AI harm nature like mobile network harmed sparrows? Do this AI harm?
AI is many things are there. Like through AI, we have drone systems also. Through AI, we have a number of communication mechanism also. Like this kind of a chatbot, what we are talking about today, it is not going to destruct anything. Like you are not going to do anything wrong out of this. You may get certain ideas, but it's again up to the person to utilize it in a correct manner. For example, if you are asking a chat GPT how to kill a person, it may give you the answer. But again, it's all up to the human intelligence also to take, or put an end to that and take whatever it is right. We are building AI, which is like almost equivalent to human. Obviously, it may not be 100% equivalent, but the power and the faster rate of execution will definitely take over humans in coming another 2 to 3 years. Many job scenarios as well as many tasks will be done only by AI.
Okay. Okay. Thank you from Mr. Yogesh M. So any other questions or feedback, dear participants? And before we go ahead, kindly fill the feedback form which is provided in the chat box in Zoom. Kindly fill it so that we can share you the e-certificates through email. You'll be getting the certificates, e-certificate in 7 working days. So any questions? Any other questions? There was a rumor or it's a fact, I'm not sure, that India is going to ban ChatGPT. So do you think banning this AI will be good or bad?
See, I'll give you one example. All over the world, researchers will be finding so much difficult to download research papers. I think every faculty will agree with this answer.
Yes.
If you have to just access one good publication, you have to pay some money for somebody who is not even the author of that paper. Such people who are holding control where you need to pay to someone else and get that access. If everything is restricted like that, then it will be very difficult for the new things or new innovations to happen. So like there is one person who started against this and started the Sci-Hub. You might be aware of, like all the faculty members might be knowing this, where you can download the papers free of cost without paying the money. But it was banned in India because the research will have a negative impact if they download it. I don't think so, because it should be made available to every individual. Let them explore, let them innovate, and these kind of a thing should be free of cost. Actually, there should not be any subscription model also. It should be made available to everyone so that they can reap all the benefits out of that. Yes, it could be like legally authorized, like there could be certain provisions or policies not to use it in a negative way, but yes, it has to be allowed instead of banning. I don't think right now India is going to ban ChatGPT. Even if it is banned, most of the scientists are from Indian perspective. Many developers may come up with their own generative chatbots, because only thing is, developing is not a big task. If you know how to do that, definitely you can come up with that. So like banning will never used to help anybody.
Okay, thank you, madam. I'll just read some of the feedbacks which we have got. Thanks a lot, madam. It was a very interesting session. Thank you very much.
Welcome, sir. Actually, since the topic was benefits and challenges, I did not cover much of the technical aspects, how to build that, what could be there.
Yes.
If not Chat GPT, similar to that would have been done. But even for that, I think a different session is required, like a workshop
Yes.
where we can teach one-to-one and, like through all such kind of activities.
So Chat GPT word has been the most searched word now.
Yeah.
Everyone are talking about Chat GPT, but hardly few people know about it and how it
Yes.
works. So today's session actually gave a glimpse and the overall perspective of why Chat GPT and how it can be used. Really, it was a very wonderful session, madam. Thank you.
Welcome, sir.
So thank you. Any other questions or feedback before we go to vote of thanks? You can unmute and ask. Okay. So now I would request Dr. Anil Kannur, HOD of Computer Science Department from Nagarjuna College of Engineering and Technology. Dr. Anil Kumar, please.
Yes, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir. You're audible.
So good evening all. Myself, Dr. Anil, HOD and Professor of CSE Department. So it's my privilege to give vote of thanks on this occasion. So first of all, I would like to thank Fatima ma'am for giving the insights and all the details of ChatGPT and how to use and what are the benefits. So, thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
So secondly, I would like to thank Rupa Tantri ma'am and Shiprasad sir for organizing this event jointly with Nagarjuna College of Engineering and Technology. Thank you, sir, and thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
And I thank all our management, director sir, principal sir for supporting in organizing this event. And I also thank all the participants and faculty members of Nagarjuna College and other participants of this college. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, Anil sir.
Thank you, sir.
And before we end, there are two more feedbacks which have come from M. Uday Kiran. Thank you, madam. This is so wonderful for a curious science student like us. And it was an interesting session. Thank you, Uday. And from Kavita, thanks for the session, madam. So before we end the session, I request everyone to stand up for the national anthem.
Punjab, Sindh, Gujarat, Maratha, Dravida, Utkal, Vanga, Vindhya, Himachal, Yamuna, Ganga, Ujjala, Jaladhi, Taranga. तव शुभ नामे जागे, तव शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तव जय गाथा, जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
So thank you all. If you want to connect for further Disciples India Learning Forum sessions, you can email us or contact us through the posters which you have got. So thank you, madam. Thanks for being a part of this session. And I really thank the team of Nagarjuna College for being a part of this session as an associate partner. So thank you all. Wish you all a happy weekend.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you very much.